Evening News. This time check is brought to you by Fruta.
UWI students protest having to pay tuition fees. A call to extend Thursday Night Live in Bridgetown. And in sports, a potentially big weekend for the BCA Elite Division.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Evening News. Students of the Guild of Undergraduates of the Cayfield campus of the University of the West Indies and the Political Science Association are calling on government to reverse its decision to make them pay part of their tuition fees. They claim that the move is anti-developmental and will lead to a wider gap between the haves and the have-nots in Barbados. They made the comments while making a peaceful protest in Bridgetown this morning. Peter Thorne has that story.
It was just before 10 o'clock when about 30 UWI students staged a peaceful protest against government's move to make them pay a part of their tuition costs from September 2014. The students were from the Guild of Undergraduates and the Political Science Students Association. They were joined by a contingent from the opposition Barbados Labour Party, which included its spokesman on education, Edmund Hinkson. Under the watchful eyes of police, the students marched with numerous placards from Jubilee Gardens to Independence Square in Bridgetown. There, they gathered at the feet of the initiator of free education in Barbados, national hero, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow. President of the Guild of Undergraduates, Damani Paris, says government should rethink its move.
We are not, ladies and gentlemen, fighting for the education of the few thousand at the university today. We are fighting for the purpose of which this policy was designed in the first place, to take the money out of the hands of the privileged few and empower the many.
President of the Political Science Student Association, William Chandler, also urged government to reverse its decision.
The Caribbean is coming into its own. It's coming into an era where all Caribbean nations are recognizing that they have to educate their people. They're going in the realm of free education, and now Barbados is going to make a bastard child and decide, you know, let's step and run backwards.
President of the Climate Pay Movement, David Commission, contended that the move by government stands against everything Alvarez stood for.
I am saying today, Mr. Stewart, you made a mistake. You did something fundamentally wrong. Cancel that decision and come back to this society for a proper discussion about how we go forward as a nation, funding education for our young people, the flowers of our society. Thank you.
Tutor in political science at the UWI, Dr. Kristen Hines Harrison, says Barbados will be the poorer for the move.
Because you pay for something does not mean you appreciate it more. Because all over the world people pay for education and they go on skylark. Children play the fool, they drop out, they waste the parents' money, they default on their debts. Making students pay for their education is no guarantee that they're not going to lime, that they're not going to drink a few beers, that they're not going to party. It means that they're going to have debt and they're going to do all of these things. And many students take their education seriously.
After protesting for just over an hour, the students resolved to continue their fight against the measure. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
Police and fire officials are carrying out investigations following a boat fire on the west coast of the island today. According to Police Public Relations Officer Inspector David Welch, the fire occurred around 2:25 in the afternoon aboard the Expression, about a quarter-mile off Derrick, St. James. Inspector Welch said the 31-foot Miami-registered pleasure boat was owned by Martin Atwell of Vauxhall, St. James, who was the lone passenger on board. Atwell was rescued by a water sports operator who was in the area at the time. The Coast Guard cutter, Leonard Banfield, responded to the fire in an effort to extinguish it. One fire tender also responded to the scene. Several curious onlookers gathered along the shoreline to get a look at the fire as efforts were made to extinguish it. Barbados is the latest country to which Cuba has turned as it gathers international support for the release of the 4 remaining men of the group dubbed the Cuban Five. Cuba maintains that the intelligence officers were cruelly sentenced in 2011 in the United States. The men were convicted in Miami of conspiracy to commit espionage, murder and other illegal activities. One man, Rene Gonzalez, was released in October 2011. Consul of the Cuban Embassy in Barbados, Orestes Hernandez, urged supporters on the island to continue to fight for the cause.
This is part of the Cuban territory, and all of you, friends, are part of us, has been with us during these too many years. Stay with us in this fighting. I want to send a special message to our Cuban fellows here, because you are also being part of the Cuban people fighting for that. Especially to our friends for different organizations, our friend the Ambassador of Venezuela, our friend Trevor, Parliament, and all of those that have been with us during all this year.
And during the launch of the campaign at the Cuban Embassy, letters of solidarity were read out. Yesterday was the 15th anniversary of the arrest of the 5 Cuban intelligence agents. Cubans marked that day with a massive display of yellow ribbons, concerts, marches and political events to demand their release. Former cultural ambassador and former Calypso king Anthony Gabby Carter, who is among a group of local supporters of the international campaign, had written a letter to U.S. President Barack Obama. In it, he appealed for the release of the 4 Cubans.
We see you as a man of compassion and fairness and great leadership qualities. It is therefore with hope and much anticipation that I write to you asking you to please release from prison the 4 remaining members of the Cuban Five who unfairly and unjustly languish in U.S. prisons. They were only doing what any patriotic citizen would have done to defend their country.
A Christchurch man has been remanded in custody to Her Majesty's Prison at Dodds in connection with the landing of 368 pounds of compressed cannabis at Enterprise Beach on Tuesday. Police arrested and charged 37-year-old Marvin Walcott of Fairy Valley, Christchurch in connection with that incident, and he appeared in the Oistins Magistrates Court today to face those charges. Those charges include possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply, trafficking and importation. The accused man will next appear in court on October the 15th. We'll have more news right after this break.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, the Costa Auto Center, and leading automotive shops.
Window and door screens reduce the risk of mosquitoes getting indoors. You may also use mosquito nets to protect yourself and children when sleeping. Also apply mosquito repellent containing 20 to 30% DEET as the active ingredient on exposed skin and clothing to decrease the risk of being bitten by mosquitoes. Let's fight dengue.
Barbados has much to be proud of based on its relatively high ranking in the recent Global Innovation Index. This is the view of Professor Chris Hillier, Technology Transfer and Innovation Coordinator with the University of the West Indies. He said, based on the 84 different indicators used to assess Barbados' level of innovation, there is much to build on.
But for Barbados, it's a great achievement. It's a great achievement to be in 47th ranking in the world out of 142 countries. And I think what it tells us, when you look into the report in more detail, it tells us that Barbados are doing a number of things well, but it also shows areas where perhaps we could be better. I think what we're doing very well is creating and engaging with new innovations. And the best example of that is that Barbados was actually the #1 country in the world in terms of patent applications filed per head of population.
Professor Hillier said, among other indicators, Barbados' education system ranked very highly.
Other aspects what we do very well is our engagement with education. So clearly we have, I think we're 5th in the list for countries who amount of spend per pupil. So again, an enormous important measure that shows that in Barbados people are educated to a very high level for a long time and are clearly comfortable with innovative technologies.
The focus at the Aline School this morning was acknowledging their musical talent. The queen of the Junior Monarch competition, Queen P, says that it is her aim and the aim of her song that those who have HIV/AIDS are comforted. The 13-year-old has been able to have a first-hand experience with a person living with HIV.
To me, she's happy. She doesn't act like she has it. She just lives her life and she protects her children or whatever, but she's just like anyone else.
Queen P was given support by other old scholars like Crystal Cummins-Beckles, Mandisa and Sammy G. Crystal Cummins-Beckles says that giving back will always be her pleasure.
I think that's something that everybody should try to do, give back to. I mean, giving back does not mean that you pay or you spend money or something like that, but giving back means that if they need assistance, if the school choir needs any assistance, if anytime they want me to perform somewhere for the Allen School, I would do it because I love my school.
Mandisa said Cummins-Beckles is very supportive and is an exemplary role model. She said life off the stage must still be something to emulate. Well, Cummins-Beckles is set to defend her crown in Montserrat, and she says preparations for that competition is challenging.
Some of them will not be recording some of the stuff that they will compete with, so it's kind of hard. You don't really hear anything until I leave here and go to the rehearsal in Montserrat. So it's just basically trying to be the best that I could be.
Barbadians have been hearing firsthand some of the findings of the environmental impact assessment done for the proposed $150 million Sugar Point cruise terminal to be built near the Bridgetown port. Coastal engineer on the project, Kevin McIntosh, answered questions from the members of the public during a town hall meeting at the port. According to him, the main concern is for the coral reef in the area.
There's one significant issue we have to deal with, and that is the coral. So some coral, a significant amount of coral will be transplanted. That's part of the program. It's actually quite a large coral transplantation program to maintain as much as we can. So there's been a lot of work gone into that. So it's not complete. It's not perfect in the sense that there will be some minor impacts, but generally it's a positive location for this facility.
Next, we'll take a look at the top regional stories.
Community Files. Registration for CXC exams January 2014 has begun and will close on Friday, October 4th. Registration forms are available from the Examinations section, Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, Elsie Payne Complex, Constitution Road, St. Michael, or online at mes.gov.bb. When registering, you must have the relevant fees in cash, a Barbados identification card, driver's license, passport or certified passport size photo, and a blue or black ink pen. Register from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. A copy of the timetable is posted at www.cxc.org. For further information, call the Ministry of Education at 430-2774 or 430-2778.
Beat the squeeze with new low prices on Bon Lollies from Biko. Ice lollies now $1, real fruit bars $1.50, fudge bars $2, and chalk ice only $2.50. Keep cool this summer and beat the squeeze with Biko. Offer available for limited time from participating retail outlets, Biko Mobilers, or buy in bulk from Biko Direct, Harbor Road, and save even more.
Jamaicans caught trafficking drugs on the high seas will soon be on their own. The Jamaican government is waiving their rights, meaning whoever comes across them has the right to prosecute. Information Minister Sandria Falconer explained at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing.
Cabinet has approved an amendment to the Maritime Drug Trafficking Suppression Act. This will allow Jamaica to waive jurisdiction over Jamaican nationals apprehended seaward of Jamaica's territorial waters on Jamaican registered vessels or other vessels containing contraband. With the country located in the corridor between the main drug-producing and drug-consuming countries, collaboration with our international partners to prevent traffickers transiting the country's waters, the amendment will grant the Minister power to waive Jamaica's rights to access are provided with only samples of contraband by the U.S. Coast Guard, and there is a requirement in law that all contraband found has to be tendered into evidence.
Still in Jamaica, telecommunications company Digicel has unveiled a fixed-line service called DigiHome. The move followed announcements that Digicel was looking to enter the fixed-line market, which is presently dominated by its main competitor, Line. Digicel's CEO, Barry O'Brien, said DigiHome is a fixed-line voice service that is billed per second for postpaid customers. It uses a wireless unit in a home to deliver voice and data services. Mr. O'Brien also said that a prepaid landline service will also be introduced in the Jamaican market next year. In Trinidad, heavy daytime showers caused havoc as floodwaters rose to over 4 feet high in the areas of St. Augustine and Mount Lambert. Students at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine were stranded as a result of floodwaters. These waters affected the library, causing it to close, and it was later detected that there were electrical problems. The rain lasted for over an hour, causing establishments to be evacuated due to extensive flooding. Traffic also came to a standstill as the prediction of moderate to heavy showers unfolded. Residents used sandbags as a preventative measure to restrict the entry of water into their properties. Rubbish, debris were left behind for the residents to clean up. Straight ahead is the Lime Sports World. Now that tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
The Alzheimer's Association can provide support and information on your questions about Alzheimer's disease.
Community Files. If you are a student age 25 and under, enter the Pan American Health Organization's Touching Lives International Students Talent Contest. Submit your creative work promoting hand washing in the form of a video, song, illustration, photograph, essay, or any other artistic expression that encourages hand washing. Submission requirements are available at the contest rules homepage, www.paho.org/handwashing. For more information, call Larone Highland at 434-5200 or email highlandla@paho.org. The deadline for entries is Saturday, September 14th.
Join Morning Barbados every Monday at 6:15 a.m. for World of Technology, a look at the changing technology, the latest gadgets, and how to use them. The aim is to bridge the gap between technophobes and the techies. Morning Barbados, World of Technology, brought to you with the good wishes of IT Warehouse. We never forget who we're working for.
A fourth generation of mobile technology. Real-life applications you probably never thought about. Smart. Fast. Imagine. 4G.
Welcome to Lime Sports World.
Hi, good evening. I'm Shane Jones with the Lime Sports World. This weekend could possibly clear up the picture concerning who will win and who will be demoted in the BCA's 2013 Lime Elite Division. There are 3 teams with a good chance of lifting the title, and the top 2 are currently in battle. CGI Maple came into this series 1 point ahead of ICBL Empire, and the Mapleites are currently 193 for 6 at stumps, batting first after day 1. At the other end of the scale, there are 4 teams who are trying to fight off relegation: Republic Bank St. Catherine, Carlton, Barbados Defence Force Sports Program, and Lime. St. Catherine, the ones at the bottom of that group with 46 points, started the series just ahead of Guardian General Barbados Youth, who can't be demoted. The Bayfield boys have the toughest assignment as they're currently in battle against the third-placed and defending champs Sagicor UWI at the 3Ws Oval. UWI will resume on 86 for 4, replying to St. Catherine's 165. Carlton and the BDF SP are battling at Desmond Haynes Oval. Now, there's only a 2-point difference between those bottom dwellers, so Carlton would feel they did well to be on 250 for 8. Over at Queen's Park, Lyme, who are 5th from the bottom on 50 points, have already lost first innings to Supercenter Spartan and are therefore still not quite out of the woods. However, if their protest concerning Spartan's failure to produce a new ball for the second innings is successful, then those 20 points will do them quite nicely. CBC Sports will follow all the intrigue tomorrow on our radio show on 94.7 FM. Join Sean Green of the CBC Sports Express from 1:30 p.m. Play, however, begins at noon at the various grounds. Former India fast bowler Sreen South has been banned from cricket for life for spot fixing. The former Rajasthan Royals teammate of Barbadian Fidel Edwards was arrested in May on suspicion of spot fixing in the Indian Premier League. He was charged with taking money to concede a predetermined number of runs in 3 different IPL matches.
The 30-year-old fast bowler has been punished by his country's governing body following a report by anti-corruption chief Ravi Sawani. Srisanth was found guilty of spot fixing while playing for the Rajasthan Royals in this year's Indian Premier League. One of his teammates was also handed a life ban, with a 3rd player suspended for a year.
Coach Carlo Ancelotti has confirmed that world record signing Gareth Bale will make his debut for Real Madrid against Villarreal tomorrow. The 24-year-old joined Real from English Premiership side Tottenham Hotspur for £85.3 million on September 1st, but has not played a full match yet this season because of a foot injury. Meanwhile, another top player, Mesut Ozil, will make his debut for Arsenal. He's Arsenal's most expensive signing ever.
It's been confirmed that Bale will make his debut in Real's away fixture against Villarreal, even though the Wales internationals played only half an hour of competitive football so far this season. But his new manager dismissed any suggestion of holding fire on, reportedly, the world's most expensive footballer.
We play 100%. I don't know if we start the match or if he can play the second half. The condition, the physical condition is not the best, but it's not so bad. So he trained alone in this period. He had 10 days of training session with the national team. His condition is not 100%, but it's not bad.
Move from England to Spain, Mesut Ozil's gone in the opposite direction and is due to make his Arsenal debut after being officially unveiled by the London club this week. Spanish football expert Begoña Perez told us that Ozil will make a big impact with the Gunners after his relationship with Los Blancos soured somewhat.
Real Madrid has lost one of the most talented players they had, probably the second one after Ronaldo. There were rumors about maybe his professionalism wasn't enough, and Ozil wasn't happy about it. His father spoke about it this week with Bild, the German newspaper, about it. He wasn't happy about what he said, Real Madrid leaking bad stories about his son, but his talent is there, and a few players of Real Madrid have said publicly that they will miss him on the pitch.
The first half in sports, back in a bit.
I'm waking up my bed with texting in my head. I text my mom for breakfast, she texts me cheese and bread. I text my taxi driver, my girl, my grandpa. Now I dare you to text all your friends near and far. I dare you, I dare you to text with Lime's unbeatable value.
Dial *130 *1 number sign to start texting for less than 1 cent per text. Send 1,000 texts to anyone, anywhere, on any network.
I dare you, I dare you to text with Lime's unbeatable value.
And we're back. An action-packed night is expected for the Barbados Boxing Association's Lionel Hall Carlton Hope Memorial card tomorrow. CBC's Marcia Boyce reports.
Ricardo Blackman Jr. is just back from representing Barbados at the Elite Continental Boxing Championships in Chile, and he's been working hard in preparation for this card.
My training started way back from before I went to Chile. I was training hard for Chile. Went to Chile and lost to Cuban, so I come back here now looking to fix all my mistakes and be the better man in the ring come Saturday. Training very hard, twice a day, every day. So I think I'm ready to showcase my talent Saturday night.
Like some of the other competitors, he's not familiar with his opponent for the flyweight bout, but he knows his experience will give him the edge.
That's something that happens a lot, because when we go overseas, it's just a tournament of thousands of boxers that you don't know or you never meet before, and then you just gotta get in the ring with someone you never met in your life, and that's the task that from bell one, you gotta assess your opponent and try to be the better man in the fight. I think I'm a good counter, so I'm going in there to be faster and better than him.
Many of the boxers were hard at work at the gym at the National Stadium. They say they're in peak form.
They train hard, they work out hard, and do everything my coach tell me to do. Go running in the evening, do dumbbell work, and spar a little bit, and then hit the bike for 2 minutes, go run in the game, come back, hit the bike, run again, come back, hit the bike.
That's hard part, sparring, bike, speedball, running. Again to me. That was all. Never happen.
I've been doing some intense cardio work as well as strength work with the coach, and coming down to the time of the match, a lot of technique work, hand pads and bike work, using the speedball. I think I'm rather fit. I do a lot of running. I concentrate on my cardio. So in terms of fitness, I think I'm well versed. I hope Barbadians come on and watch the boxers. The boxers need the support.
There will be 10 bouts on the card, which will have a regional flair, with 3 boxers from Guyana in the mix. Marsha Boyce, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Marsha. Well, the card comes off at the Queen's Park Steel Shed tomorrow night at 7. Champion Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Saul Alvarez will clash for the super welterweight world title tomorrow. It's being dubbed The One. The two men will meet in Las Vegas in front of a live gate that reportedly exceeds $20 million, and expectations are that it will challenge the 6-year-old pay-per-view record of $2.4 million. Mayweather is 13 years older than his opponent. So will the veteran show his experience, or will the younger boxer take advantage?
Mr. Mayweather, I mean that's his thing. I mean, he's very fast. If he fought Pacquiao, maybe it would have been even, but he's the quicker guy.
Another check mark for Floyd for defense.
Yeah, that's his middle name. Oh no, money's his middle name, but defense is one of the ways he makes his living. He makes you miss, and if you miss, it's hard to hit him.
You give the edge to power to Canelo. How come?
Bigger guy, stronger guy, and I like where he goes with the power. That's more important to the body.
Combination punching, also for Alvarez.
That's going to shock you. I mean, you would think Mayweather, yes, with the speed and everything, but you know what? The last few years, he puts 1 or 2 together. He's very careful. Alvarez puts punches together.
Back to Floyd for legs and mobility.
Yeah, he's a guy, look, at his age, I don't know how often he'll use them, if he can use them all night long, but if he needs them, they're there.
And Teddy, he's been here before. You give the edge to Floyd in experience.
Yeah, not just, with these big events.
Yes.
But the main reason is the quality of opposition. He's been in there with the best for a long time. So yes, he gets that check.
It's a push for chin. Intangibles and X factor, you're taking Alvarez.
Intangible, yeah, I'm going to go with Alvarez because usually I always say, and it's true, you're alone in that ring. But with that great Mexican audience, with that great Latino audience, that's an ocean of emotion that's going to be pouring in there. If it's a close fight, he's going to feel it.
Well, no matter what the analysts say, Moneyman Mayweather is confident.
This fight is titled The One. You know, he's the #1 fighter at junior middleweight. I'm the number one fighter in the world. So when you bring together the two together, you get nothing but excitement. I look forward to going out there and being the same old Floyd. He's 42-0, I'm 44-0. I think I'm the best athlete out there. You know, I've proven myself over and over again.
Well, that's Sports Tonight. The Business Report is next.
Of mobile technology outside the box takes on a whole new meaning. There is no longer a box. Smart, fast. Imagine 4G.
This has been Lime Sports World.
On Saturday, September 14th, Caribbean Wellness Day, Dover Playing Field Christchurch will be transformed into one big fitness fair. Love that body, move that body, treat your body right from 3 until 7 p.m. with the Ministry of Health and the National Task Force on Physical Activity and Exercise. Take part in the popular line dancing, scintillating Zumba, Kids on the Move, and Soca Time with Ariel Tiger Johnson. Witness the contestants of the upcoming Mr. Caribbean Barbados Fitness Competition in Man vs. Machine. There'll be a fun zone just for the children, and fruits and natural juices will be on sale. So Barbados, put on your sneakers, bring a water bottle, and let's keep moving on Caribbean Wellness Day, Saturday, September 14th at Dover Playing Field from 3 to 7 p.m.
It's an unbelievable week at Brankers. Buy 250 of our specially selected tiles and you get the next 250 at half price. Brankers, with the most beautiful tiles available anywhere on the island, is having a special price-busting sale and offering this amazing deal. Simply come into our store on Fontebelle, choose and pay for 250 of our specially marked tiles and get the next 250 at half the price. Hurry up and come down. This deal is only available while stocks last. Brankers on Fontebelle, where affordable luxury lives.
Tonight's business report is brought to you by Banks Holdings Limited. Many companies, one goal: excellence.
Well, in business tonight, extended until Christmas. This was the response from some Barbadians who went into the city of Bridgetown for the final night of Thursday Night's Live last night. The initiative, spearheaded by the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry to breathe new life into the city, came to an end last night with the usual late store openings and outdoor dining, along with cultural presentations and dramatic pieces. Most people who spoke to CBC had praise for the initiative.
I think it's better for everybody to come and shortly at night because, you know, everyone can get everything during the day. Some people will be very busy. So I think it's a good idea, opening stores late at night and here Shepherd. Everyone get what they want, you know what I mean? Like, the stuff and everything. Everything is nice, man.
To me, it's a cool and more relaxing time to shop. It be cool, it ain't hot, it's relaxing. You take your time and walk around, enjoy the relaxation and the sights and see other things, and yeah.
What I would say is this, that evening shopping at this time is very good, and I would say this, that it should keep it a little longer. It should extend it. They're on Christmas time, that would think, but I don't know how they would proceed in talking with management to the place and that sort of thing. I feel it would be a very good thing to do.
I like it. There's got people come and tell me money is spent. No money down there, I got no money. People just come out. I think it's a good idea too. We'll run it right down to Christmas. Probably will get later down, you know, no going back to school, so they get a little slower time. But should be good in the next 2 months, you know. It would be a good idea.
It gives Barbados, put Barbados more higher on the map, and I feel it should be going all year round because, you know, people love to come to town and shop, especially at night. People can't do what they want to do and stuff like that in the day because they have to work and probably busy, so it's very good.
Senior retail manager at Cape Shepherd Broad Street, Anderson Ford, said the late night shopping has been a good move.
In terms of business, I would say it has worked well for us, driven mainly by the crop-over activities and, as of course, the back to school season. So it has worked, has really benefited us tremendously.
He agreed with the suggestion that it should be extended and continued, particularly since businesses are entering a slow period ahead of Christmas.
Yes, we've seen additional business within the store, particularly, like I said, in our back-to-school department, in the perfumery. Generally, business has been pretty satisfactory.
Meanwhile, President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Lalo Vaswani, said the Chamber will be meeting with other stakeholders to review the Thursday Night's Live initiative and the way forward. He said responses were mixed from some business owners in the city after it started on July 16th, but more businesses started to get on board as the weeks passed.
Our feedback from businesses, in fairness, was mixed. You have a wide assortment, a wide array of businesses and seasonality of products also. So those who might have been in the back to school season found it very, very beneficial because it happens to be during the back to school time, seasonal time. And those who were with other products found that it may not have been as improved, but it was improved, but not to the same degree.
Mr. Vaswani said the event has been welcomed by locals and visitors alike.
What we found is that there was a great mix of locals and even visitors who found the ambience very enriching, very enlightening. And in addition to that, we had activities including DJs, bands, theaters, improved lighting, various things to make it interesting.
The BCCI president said ultimately it is important for businesses to take the lead and try new concepts, especially at the times of year when business is known to be seasonally slow.
Somebody said, why do you choose Thursday? Why not a Wednesday? Why not a Friday? Fair question. But a survey was done, and the majority of the people who were surveyed said that we prefer Thursdays. And so what we have found out, although yesterday, Thursday, was the last for this initial pilot project, we have had a great deal of responses from the business community to say, can we continue it through Christmas? So again, we will meet with all the business stakeholders for them to come on board.
Well, as we go to break, here's a summary of trading on selected exchanges in the region.
As Banks Holdings Limited grows and expands to meet increasing global challenges, we remain a true Bajan success story. Not only are BHL products a part of every Bajan home, but we're in the region and increasingly even further afield. So as you continue to make Banks Holdings Limited part of your life, you'll continue to strive for excellence.
BHL, many companies, one goal, BHL.
Now for a look at some of the top business stories around the globe. United Airlines now has to honor a number of tickets passengers got free after a systems glitch at the carrier, and analysts are still examining the prospects of Twitter after it announced that it plans to have initial public offering of stock.
It is a good time for technology IPOs. You look at Facebook, you look at LinkedIn shares, both have actually hit record highs this week, but there are some concerns about Twitter making its public debut. Analysts are asking actually what kind of staying power does Twitter have, meaning does it have a long-term growth plan? Also, it's got the same problem as Facebook. How does it make money off of tweets? It's got those promoted tweets that are sponsored by advertisers, but the question is how successful are they? And the problem is we just don't know the answers as of yet. John?
While we're mulling over that, here's an amazing story I wanted to ask you about. The best travel bargain of the season, entirely by accident, it would seem.
Yes, United selling tickets basically for free, and it was totally because of human error. United tweeted just a short time ago that they've reviewed the error that happened yesterday, and based on those circumstances, they're going to go ahead and honor those tickets. No real details on exactly what happened there, what the mistake was. They're just saying there was this error that resulted in certain fares being displayed as zero. They said they've corrected the error, but a lot of people made off with some nice bookings, from Washington, D.C. to Hawaii. Flights are basically free. Tickets were displayed as costing $0, and flyers only had to pay the $5 to $10 fee.
Well, that's business tonight. Weather details after this break.
Tonight's business report was brought to you by Banks Holdings Limited. Many companies, one goal: excellence.
Hey mama, hey papa, Emerald City and Carlton.
Girl, you hear there is a $3 and more store in Carlton Supermarket?
And in Emerald City Supermarket too.
New arrivals, just opened.
Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Cheap things at Carlton Supermarket and the Emerald City Supermarket too.
Emerald City and Carlton.
Proper.
Join the breast screening program of the Barbados Cancer Society as they celebrate Pink Ribbon Week from October 6 to 12. Think pink, think passion, think life at the historic Garrison Savannah at 3 p.m. on Sunday, October 6. A breast cancer awareness walk and run, as well as Pedal for a Purpose, a men's-only bike race. Register at the Barbados Cancer Society, Supercenter Big B, Oystons and Sunset Crest, as well as A&B Music Supplies, Sheraton. Think pink, think passion, think life, in association with CIBC First Caribbean, Walking for a Cure, and the Ministry of Health.
Stay tuned for the CBC Weather News. Stay safe with protection you can trust from United Insurance. You're in safe hands with United.
Well, we apologize that none of our weather presenters is available for the weather forecast conditions this evening, but I have the details, so let's go. Well, at 6 this evening, Tropical Storm Ingrid, as you can see, was located near latitude 19.4 degrees north, longitude 95.4 degrees west. Ingrid is nearly stationary in the Bay of Campeche and little motion is expected today. It is expected, however, to move towards the north-northwest late tonight or tomorrow. On its forecast track, Ingrid is expected to move very close to the coast of Mexico during the next couple of days. Maximum sustained winds are near 45 miles per hour with higher gusts. Some strengthening, however, is forecast during the next 48 hours. Torrential rains are expected over eastern Mexico. Closer to home here in Barbados, fair to partly cloudy skies with brief scattered showers prevailed as a band of cloud associated with a surface to low level trough drifted further southwards over the past 12 hours. David has been telling us about that. However, by afternoon, some moderate to heavy showers and isolated thunderstorms developed over the northern and northwestern districts. The good news is that by tomorrow, only some passing scattered showers are likely over Barbados and the other southern islands. The weak low pressure area to the northeast of the island chain, however, is expected to weaken further within the next 24 hours as it drifts further westward. We'll take a break right here and be back with forecast conditions in a minute.
This is the unfortunate event that damaged the house of the family that is insured with United. Homeowners insured with United Insurance don't need to worry about what will happen after a disaster strikes because they know that United will always be there, helping them put things back together again by providing insurance for houses and contents. Don't worry, you're in safe hands with United.
All right, let's look at forecast conditions now. For tomorrow, the sun will rise at 12 minutes to 6 and set at 6 in the evening. Our tides, the first high tide at 5 minutes past noon, the next at 21 minutes past 11 in the evening, the first low tide at 14 past 5 in the morning, the next at 21 minutes past 5 in the afternoon. Seas tomorrow are predicted to be moderate in open water with swells between 1.5 to 2 meters. The winds from the south to the southeast, don't like that, 15 to 35 kilometers per hour. Barbados tonight is forecast to be fair to occasionally cloudy with some scattered showers. Tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy with passing showers.
The CBC Weather News is brought to you Monday to Friday with a kind compliment of United Insurance. You're in safe hands with United.
I thought a drink would magically solve all my problems.
And then you don't even have a decency.
I thought it would give me courage.
I thought that it would help me fit in.
You know, I thought it'd be the life of the party.
I never thought this would happen to me.
I thought I was only hurting myself.
If alcohol has lost its magic for you and you can't stop drinking,
I took action and my life has changed. I'm out living life to the fullest.
Now I have friends that accept me for me.
I realized I don't have to drink anymore.
I've stopped hurting the people that I love.
AA gave me hope.
You'll find us in the phone book, your local newspaper, or on the web at aa.org. Alcoholics Anonymous.
Overseas news now. A court in India has sentenced to death 4 men convicted of last December's gang rape of a young New Delhi woman.
We were right outside the courtroom, and as soon as that sentencing was announced, the doors of the courtroom just opened and lawyers came out saying death sentence to all 4 of the convicts. And then people who were there, the media, there were a lot of spectators just there to watch the show, really. Everyone just started cheering and clapping, and then we ran out of the courthouse and we had to sort of go around. It's a huge complex, but the police had really blocked off all the exits. But once we got to the front, we saw there's maybe about 100 or 200 protesters there, and they were still protesting. They were saying, yes, we are happy today with this sentencing, but they're not completely happy because, remember, the juvenile who was actually just sentenced to 3 years in a reformation home because he was just 17 years old when the crime was committed. So they still are hoping for a harsher sentence for him. Christy.
So the pressure is on for courts to perhaps overturn that decision about the fate of the juvenile sentenced to 3 years. Let's talk about the legacy of the case now, Sunima. How has this brutal gang rape and murder of this young woman in New Delhi, how has it changed the entire country?
Well, if you look at the numbers of rapes being reported, not much has changed. In fact, the numbers of rapes being reported has doubled this year. But if you talk to authorities, they'll tell you that's not because there's been an increase of rapes, but more because rapes are being reported now. Women feel more emboldened to come out and report these cases with the authorities. And that's really the biggest change now because of this discussion, because of how this case has galvanized the nation, the outrage, the laws have changed, security has been stepped up. Because of all of this, women feel more emboldened to come and speak out. People are talking about it, and that's actually a good thing for this country.
Fire has destroyed much of the famous New Jersey boardwalk. The Jersey Shore boardwalk was recently rebuilt after the passage of Superstorm Sandy.
It's less than a year after Hurricane Sandy devastated the area as well. You mentioned dozens of buildings. It's really dozens of businesses, livelihoods here. And what that hurricane that I mentioned didn't take away, this fire certainly destroyed. A state of emergency on the Jersey Shore. Hundreds of firefighters battling a massive inferno that raged into the night. The fire finally under control. The fast-moving blaze destroying dozens of businesses in a 6-block stretch in just hours along the boardwalk between Seaside Park and Seaside Heights. 2 communities hit hard by Superstorm Sandy nearly 1 year ago.
I said to my staff, I feel like I want to throw up.
This amateur video shows the fire erupting at this ice cream stand just after 2 p.m. on Thursday.
Don't go in there!
Within hours, the fire engulfed block after block, spread by high winds gusting over 30 miles per hour.
My manager came in the stand and told me to get out because there was smoke coming up through the boardwalk. We ran away and turned around again, and there was just flames coming out of the building.
The inferno so big, first responders had to pump water from this nearby bay. The fire eventually contained by a 20-foot wide trench built by firefighters.
Within 15 minutes, there was more flames than I ever seen in my life. I got scared. It was amazing. It's terrible what's going on. It really is.
It's horrifying what's going on here. The whole town, the people that grew up here, the people that work here are suffering a lot of damage.
After everything that we just went through for rebuilding everything, especially the shore, and to know that it's all burning down now. I'm sorry.
The thick black smoke could be seen for miles. Governor Chris Christie urging the public to stay out of the area.
My advice to you, in fact, my admonition to you is do not come here. Do not travel. Stay away.
This area near the Funtown Pier, one of the few stretches of boardwalk that survived Sandy, now has fallen victim to this incredible fire. The neighboring pier's roller coaster washed into the ocean became a symbolic image of Jersey strength. Repairs to the boardwalk after Sandy completed in time for its summer season, reopening this May. The state's resolve being tested once again.
More horrific news for now from the U.S. Torrential rains have triggered massive flash flooding across the U.S. state of Colorado. Residents there say they have never seen anything like this before. U.S. President Barack Obama has signed an emergency declaration to speed up relief to hard-hit areas across that state.
Vicious floodwaters wash away a road near Lafayette, Colorado, and rescuers zero in on one flipped-over vehicle they believe has a survivor inside. Minutes seem like hours as they secure lines to the car. The goal, flip it over and save whoever's in there. Finally, the submerged car is turned on its side, and rescuers have a chance to break a window and look inside. To the relief of the entire rescue team and to people across the country watching this unfold on live TV, a survivor appears. But he's not safe yet, as the man puts on a life vest. His car falls again, this time without a window to seal off the floodwater. Is there an air pocket in the car? Precious seconds tick by as the water rushes into the vehicle. Then rescuer Robert Williams leaves the safety of his own raft to free the man, and finally, he makes it to shore. Others wouldn't be as fortunate. The floods are blamed for at least 3 deaths in Colorado, and officials are bracing for that number to rise.
This was a devastating overnight storm in the dark, and I anticipate that as the day goes on, we are likely to find other people who are the victims of the storm. I hope and pray that's not true.
Authorities began their rescues Wednesday night, including this family and their dog stranded on their balcony in Boulder. The storm at times dumped an inch of rain an hour. Boulder Creek, which runs through here at the University of Colorado, flowed at 16 times its normal rate.
How high the creek was, how fast it was, how muddy it was, and how dangerous it was. It freaked us out.
Throughout the day, officials urged residents to stay inside, warning the floodwaters are far more dangerous than they appear.
That person can very easily just go floating down this river like we're seeing tons of debris because it is fast moving.
Across the state, water damaged or overflowed dams, roads became impassable from water or mudslides, and homes collapsed. Here, the tiny town of Lyons was cut off completely by what local officials describe as a 500-year flood. Residents have been told they could be on their own for up to 3 days. Rain continued throughout the day and could get worse. For a second night, Colorado battles darkness, floodwaters, and a race against time to rescue its residents.
A story of Mother Nature today. Tributes continue to pour in for Ray Dolby, the American inventor and audio pioneer who founded Dolby Laboratories.
As a pioneer of surround sound, he revolutionized the way we listen to movies in the cinema. But he also changed how we hear audio at home and on our mobile devices. Dolby was the chief designer of the electronics in the very first videotape recording system. After founding his own company, Dolby Laboratories, in 1965, Dolby fine-tuned technologies to remove the hiss from sound recordings. Now, he is remembered in this image on the front page of the firm's website. And to give you an idea of just the sheer scope of his work, Dolby holds more than 50 U.S. patents, and his company has won 19 Oscars. And as if winning Academy Awards was enough of an achievement, think about where they're handed out. Now, last year, the Hollywood venue known as the home of the Academy Awards was renamed Dolby Theater. Now, Dolby had been suffering from Alzheimer's disease, was diagnosed with leukemia in July. He was 80 years old.
We'll have a recap of our top stories right after this break.
I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in my garden.
This is real Barbadiana here, the snow going by.
TV is brought to you with the compliments of Lime. Value every moment.
I am your mother,
aunt,
grandmother, guardian, friend, and I promise to protect you in all situations because someone has hurt you, violated you, harmed you, abused you, and you were brave enough to tell me. You trusted me. You came to me for help, to defend, for support, to protect you. No amount of money or bribes, favors, or gifts will stop me. You are most important to me. You are worth more to me than any material thing. I will do all in my power, in my heart, to make sure that you are taken care of and that justice is served and you thrive. Together, my daughter, my son, my child, we will live and love. I will protect you.
Break the silence. Report all cases of child sexual abuse. A recap of this evening's top stories brought to you in association with Carlton and Emerald City Supermarkets, where Bogoff and Bosch are looking out for you from 6:30 a.m.
Students of the Guild of Undergraduates of the Cayfield campus of the University of the West Indies and the Political Science Association are calling on government to reverse its decision to make them pay part of their tuition fees. They claim the move is anti-developmental and will lead to a wider gap between the haves and the have-nots in Barbados. The police and fire officials are carrying out investigations following a boat fire on the west coast of the island today. According to Police Public Relations Officer Inspector David Welch, that fire occurred around 2:25 in the afternoon on board the Expression, about a quarter-mile off Derrick's St. James. Barbados is the latest country to which Cuba has turned as it gathers international support for the release of the 4 remaining men of the group dubbed the Cuban Five. Cuba maintains that the intelligence officers were cruelly sentenced in 2011 in the United States. Extended until Christmas. This was a response from some Barbadians who went into the city of Bridgetown for the final night of Thursday Night Live last night. The initiative is spearheaded by the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry and designed to breathe new life into the city. In the forecast for tonight, it will be fair to occasionally cloudy with some scattered showers. Tomorrow, fair to partly cloudy with passing showers.
A recap of this evening's top stories brought to you in association with Carlton and Emerald City Supermarkets, where Bogoff and Bosch are looking out for you from 6:30 a.m.
Well, that's our time tonight. Thank you for spending it with us. I'm Pearson Bowen. For the crew, to all of you, good night. Have a great weekend. By God's will, we'll see you next week.
Easy to play, easy to win. I told God I'd take it this way, I begin to win with Mega 6.
Good evening, I'm Portia. Mega 6 has been making Bajans rich for years. But if your lucky numbers are drawn tonight, you could win $380,000 with Mega 6 draw number 3137. It's supervised by Auditor Joshua King from Ernst & Young. Eligible tickets are dated the 13th of September 2013. Now for tonight's lucky numbers. The first number, 8. Your second number, 23. The third number, 20. The fourth number, 25. The fifth number is 1. That's 6, and final number, 19. Mega 6 draw number 3137 on the 13th of September 2013. 8, 23, 20, 25, 1, and 19. Join us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, for for the next Mega 6 draw. Sincerest congratulations to the last Mega 6 jackpot winner from draw number 3,134 on Saturday, the 7th of September. This brings the count to 5 Mega 6 jackpot winners for the year. That winning ticket came from T.E. Maycock Kiosk in the Fairchild Street bus terminal. Mega 6 has paid out more than $3 million in prizes for the year so far. And you're waiting for what again? Get some Mega 6 tickets. Just spend $10 and you could wind up with $10,000 every month for an entire year with super monthly bonus. Play Cars and Cash for your chance to win a new Toyota Yaris and loads of cash prizes. Get some tickets today. Those lottery retailers are spread out all over the island. The Super Lotto jackpot you'll want to know is $3,360,000. Listen, you have to be in it to win it. So buy your tickets. For all the draw results and the latest news, go to www.mybarbadoslottery.com. The Barbados Lottery, supporting sport, youth and culture.
Easy to play, easy to win. I told that ticket is where I begin to win with Mega 6. Ready bus to town. Ready bus, let the bus break down. Again, let the bus break down. The people from Black Rock, Barbados represent. Everyone we in the whole country in this predicament. Say, ready bus to town. Ready bus break down. Again, let the bus break down. Each of us who's standing here has a tale to tell. Before we can show you some and entertain you well with ready bus to town. Ready bus, let the bus break down. Again, let the bus break down. Again, let the bus break down. Again, let the bus break down.
But how much longer you gonna be sick, though, Marjorie? Well, you been home nearly a week already. Who doctor you going to? And you expect he to give you 3 more weeks? But what's wrong with you? All over your body? Look, try running Alice on now to drop the heat. Yes, Alice, and what is your after eat please? Yes, don't my heart taste. It's good for you. I know what it look like. You still eat peas. But listen, you know they're taking on a replacement for you. Yes, and they're coming in today. Oh, I know. Miss Cantor, the head teacher, she took them out from among the applications we had. Well, she ain't even here, so I must again gotta do the interviewing myself. Of course I know how to interview people. Well, all you got to do is answer the question and fill out the form. I will start as soon as they start coming, that's all. I tell you that 3-ton fella that's working the workshop called me. What? Yes. Did he do best stuff? Could you believe that he don't want to come up by me? I tell you no, boss, cause he too rude. You all right? There's certain things I do not do, particularly in my father's house. I ain't care what you say. I ain't letting no man. Wait, there's somebody at the door. Look, Marjorie, I can call you back. Yes, and eat the olives. Yes, I wish you much better. All right, yes, I will call you back and tell you who I can for you. Yes, I'll go. is not here, and I don't know when she'll be coming back.
You make embarrassed for it. If I can't talk to the boss, I ain't talking to nobody.
Oh, well, you sit down there and, but, I mean, I really don't know when she's coming back. Oh, really?
I can't wait too long here.
All right, I tell you what, I will fill out the interviewing form till she gets here. All right?
All right, give me the form.
Wait, madam. I can do it. Have a seat. What is your name?
Ottilie Lysonia Allen.
You're Ottilie Allen?
Yeah, why?
You used to go to St. Leonard's Infant School?
That was donkey years ago. Why?
You don't remember me?
No, who your name?
Makeup. Vermeer.